Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my September 2019 horoscope report for you. I'm going to give you the top 3 must-knows for your sign, including details like looking at the actual charts and seeing what fields of experience these aspects in the sky are going to drill down for your specific sign and what that looks like and how you can best use the energies. I offer so many free resources. Most of the things that I do are free. So you definitely want to tap into all of the things that I am offering to you. Besides these monthly videos that I offer always a month early, you can also go to cozybysweetstarlight.com to get written horoscopes by me and all kinds of other astrology and other blogs. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com to see all of my astrology blogs plus inspirational blogs and other things there. You can sign up for my free email newsletter where you get a written write-up of the month to come a month early, plus my 28-day virtual coaching program for free at anniehelpsyou.com. So definitely make sure you're tapping into all of the things I am working hard every month to offer you. Now I'm going to go into the details of what your sign has to look forward to in September 2019. Hi Sagittarius friends, welcome to my September 2019 horoscope report for you. We have such an astrologically busy month this month. In August we had about 14 noteworthy aspects. This month we have around 28 noteworthy aspects. I'm not going to talk about all of them in this report, but I am going to give you my top 3 must-knows for Sagittariuses. And included in that are going to be things that have to do with your ruler Jupiter. Aspects that are being made to your ruler Jupiter are going to be of specific noteworthiness for you. So I've got lots of details. As usual, I'm going to pop in the charts. I'm going to give you lists and strategies and grids to understand what's happening and how you can best use the energy, especially as it relates to these top highlights of the month for you. Okay, so I am going to talk about many things that are going to be true for all early, middle, and late degree placements, but there will be some places that there could be differences. So let's figure out where you are. Early Sages are the November born, or 0 to 9 degrees. Middle are December 1st through 10th, or 10 to 19 degrees. And late Sages between December 11th and the rest of the sign, and 20 to 29 degrees. I am in the late Sag area with you all at the end there, which has been the inspiration for me breaking these down into early, middle, and late, because I would see that my chart did not resonate with what people were talking about. And I figured out why, and now I let you guys know about it. If you are a Sag rising or have your moon in Sagittarius, this report is for you equally as for you all with your sun sign. The moon, the sun, and the rising are all charts that show us a piece of the total picture of our astrological picture. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about, I'm breaking this down into the 3 top things for Sagittarius to know. All right, I'm going to use the late degree chart, but know that I am actually talking about all of you right now. And when it comes time to differentiate, then I will be clear about that. Okay, so there is going to be fulfillment and frustration from the planets in Virgo. And you'll notice this every year, because as the personal planets move into Virgo, they make squares to our Sag planets. And those are disharmonious. They're, a pressure, stressful, and really the bottom line of what Virgo wants Sag to do, that's so hard for Sag to do, is to knuckle down, be focused, stay consistent, get down into the dirty details when Sages energetically really want to look at the bigger picture. Right? So when you have all the planets saying detail, detail, focus, focus, drill down, and you're saying, but the bigger picture, but look at the bigger picture, then those energies are going to be in conflict. So our ruler Jupiter is now direct as of August. And in August, we had an all-out Sagittarius expansion spree, because as all the planets were in Leo, they were making harmonious angles to the now direct Jupiter. And so there was just a lot of ease and fulfillment and sweetness and flow in August. But now what's happening is, as these planets get into Virgo, the details of how we're going to pull through the commitments that we've made, how we're going to pull through the opportunities that came to us and the things that we agreed to, how we're going to sustain, build, or maintain the big visions that we've already implemented, the knuckling down to the details pieces are going to be what comes into the picture now. And this can be wonderful, it can be grounding, it can definitely be productive, and it can set us up for wonderful things for the future. But it is going to be a little uncomfortable, especially in the first several weeks of the month while all these planets are in Virgo. Okay, so that's the first part of the Virgo piece. So the second part of the Virgo piece is that, so we'll call it, that was part 1A. Okay, so part 1B is that all these Virgo placements are making beautiful trines to these Capricorn planets. So even though, this aspect is challenging to us, the chance for material and other monetary and, tangible fulfillment is very high for Sagittarius. All right, and that's going to have to do with our work. That's going to have to do with our image, what we're building, our brand or whatever, how we're putting ourselves out into the world. That has to do with publishing and teaching and learning and international business. And that's for all early, middle, and late degree people. You're going to see these themes of money, work, career, details, publishing, writing, speaking, teaching, learning, different countries, different cultures, and getting down to the nitty-gritty of getting certain things done. So that's happening. Then, so that was B. Okay, then part C of part 1 here has to do with the Neptune opposition. Oppositions always make us feel like we're being pulled in two different directions. So, being pulled to the spiritual and the intuitive, and this is coming from multiple places in the chart for all of us, is happening. And then the details of the mundane are, like being drawn back to kind of like reality checks and trying to find the balance between the lesser seen realms. And the seen realms can prove to be a little bit more difficult right now. So, trying to find that balance and walk that line. Also, there could be issues with security, whether it's internet or other security. Now, specifically for early, middle, and late, you can see that this opposition for the late is occurring in the 3rd and 9th houses. Talk about that. It's also for the middle degree. Once we get to, to the early degree, you're really bringing a lot of this 10th and 4th house in. So for the middle and late, well, actually for all early, middle, and late, this energy of the 3rd and 9th house is being brought up. And that has to do with mobility, freedom of movement, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, things with cars, vehicles, devices, bigger picture things, and, more superficial things, and finding the balance between those, and being pulled, between like our vision and the things that are staring us right in the face in the tangible reality. There's just that theme happening over and over again. But the early degree placements, you've got some extra energy of this home and work, being pulled in two different directions. Okay, so the second must know is that as these planets move from Virgo into Libra, it's going to be back in the saddle for Sagittarius, because these Libra placements, once they start getting over here towards the end of the month, are going to make sweet angles with our Sag placements. So that nice flow, that nice rhythm, the kind of the energy that we had in August, where it was much easier and in harmony, that's going to return. And there are a couple of dates to especially note. One is September 24th, when Mercury is going to come here into Libra and make this beautiful aspect with Jupiter. So wonderful news, things with expression, things with writing, anything with news, writing, expression, expansion, anything like that is more likely to bump in. And then the new moon on the 28th at 5 degrees of Libra also has Venus making that same beautiful angle that Mercury did. Now Venus is going to come and make that beautiful angle with Jupiter at the new moon on the 28th. So if you have to do anything important, I really like that new moon, if you're trying to do your launches. There's some good energy all throughout the month, but it's much less antagonistic to Sagittarius once we get around this point, the September 28th point. And if you are an early degree Sag, then this new moon is going to give you extra sweet blessings, although the new moon is great for all Sagittarius. So new things and partnerships opening up at this time of the year when the planets go into Libra, but specifically this new moon has some really good collaboration boosts, or your romantic partnerships or any other close personal relationships. The third thing that Saggies need to know most is to track Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is our ruling planet. We get 1 year every 12 years where Sagittarius is in its sign that it rules with, or Jupiter's in the sign that it rules, which is Sagittarius. So this is a big time for us. And Jupiter had been retrograde until August. So now into September, we're just kind of very recent into Jupiter going direct. So I just want to remind you where Jupiter is in your charts so that you can understand the possible effects here more. So for the early degree placements, it's in the first house. For the middle degree placements, it's either in the first or second, or could be accentuating both since it's on the line there. And you can see as you get later in the sign how Jupiter's dropping back here. Okay, so for late degree placements, you really have that in the 12th house. And for late degree placements, it got to where it was whispering to that first house in April before it went retrograde, but then it really backed off of that. But very quickly here at this time of the year, in these months, September, October, November, you're going to have this energy rushing towards the first house. So let's talk about what that means. Jupiter is all about expansion. It's about freedom. And it's about adding things together. Jupiter usually has an additive effect. So rather than saying either or, Jupiter will say both. In the first house, where you early, middle, and later in the year, you late degree friends, this has to do with your physical body. This has to do with your health. This has to do with your image, getting more clear about what you're putting yourself out as, self-esteem, rebranding, anything that has to do with your image, your physical body, how people see you. And Jupiter in the first house can definitely be associated with lots of recognition. So hopefully that's happening for you all. Now it is important to note, sometimes I will get someone posting about this. I have a very positive view on Jupiter, and Jupiter is by far the most positive, the outer planet most associated with positivity and positive things. It's the great benefic, the great benevolent. But Jupiter can be a ruckus maker and can make more problems if certain things aren't being dealt with. So if your physical body is not being attended to, if you're neglecting it, if there have been symptoms and signs and you're ignoring them because you're so busy running around with all of your ideas, right? Sagittarius tend to want to move their bodies a lot, but they don't tend to be grounded in their bodies a lot. So this can bring you health breakthroughs of ultimate proportions, but it can also create mischief in your physical body and your image and all these other things we listed to get things right. So if you're finding that things are getting worse, Jupiter can do that too, but it's in an effort to show you what the issue is so that you can adjust it. So for the middle and the late degree placements where we have Jupiter affecting the 12th house, this has to do with needing more peace and quiet, establishing your sacred space, establishing your individual rhythm, and doing that within the context of your life and interacting with other people. It also has to do with a massive expansion of intuition. Your sensitivities might heighten, your intolerances might heighten, and working more with the unseen realms is really something I see coming up. And really major past life breakthroughs, spiritual breakthroughs, psychological breakthroughs are very, very possible. I highly recommend that if you have an ailment of an enigmatic nature, that you look into past life regression. And past life regressions work for everybody, regardless. I want to say everybody, it's a big word, but even people who think with their religion that past life regression can't be helpful because it's not consistent with what they believe. What I've seen in charts, sometimes the energy of what we call past life can come in through ancestral baggage. So maybe you're not experiencing, maybe it's not your past life, but it's the bloodline, the energy that came through the bloodline. So past life regression can help you to heal issues that came through your ancestry and not just through your soul's journey, if that's not your belief system. But whatever you believe, something, going deep into the psychological aspects can be really major. Doing things in the backdrop, doing things, in the hidden space, also finding gems that we're hiding. So that can be within yourself, but that can also be like things of value, in a piece of furniture that was worth money. You didn't realize it was there all the time. Finding hidden gems is a theme of Jupiter moving through the 12th house and really taking time to establish your peace and your quiet, because once Jupiter really gets into that first house, like it has been for the early degree placements, it's going to be really like, woo, okay, you're out there, you're doing this, all this stuff is happening, and you really want to have your personal rhythm figured out, honored, set, so that you can blend these worlds of inner and outer. So overall, I think a very positive month, and a very positive month for Sagittarius, especially if you can get through this discomfort of having to work with the details and kind of like tone down your ADD to like, okay, we have to focus, we have to get grounded, we have to get settled, we have to get a good system. It's kind of like back to basics. It's like the energy of going back to school. Like you have the summer free, everything's open, and then you get down, it's like, oh, you got to get back into this routine. And sometimes that can be a little hard on Sagittarius. But if you can flow with that and accept and embrace it, then I think it can be really positive. The last piece that we really have to mention has to do with 2019 as it relates to the rest of, or September 2019 as it relates to the rest of 2019 and to 2020. 2020 is going to be a year of personal planet retrogrades. Okay, that means the energy goes inwards and backwards. I have so much to share about how you can love these retrogrades, use them, what the retrogrades are good for. So don't worry, it's not that it's not good for anything. It's good for a lot of things. But what it's not as good for is big launches and clarity and making, solid plans. So September 2019 and December, after December 9th, and then January of 2020 are the most clear months from personal planet retrogrades. There'll be some places in 2020 where we can pop up for air and push some things along throughout the year. One at the end of March, beginning of April, and one at the end of July. But for the most part, the whole 2020 is covered in retrograde. So that makes September this shining moment of pushing things through. And I really want Saggies to hear that, because I know that sometimes with all of the ideas that we have, we can get a little bit, it can be a little bit difficult to stay focused and to like push some through and like make something happen with some of them. But now that you know that these retrograde energies are coming, if you have to get some things out, you can use this month to have all the details set and either push it out this month, or you can get your systems together and then push it out in December or January. But that can be put into action from the work that you do now to strategize to make sure you have your ducks in a row for the launches and the big deals. So if you love details like these, I have so many more places that you can get resources for this month and in general astrology. So definitely listen to my video, September 2019 must-knows for all signs. That's going to give you lots more details about how these aspects can show up and how you can best use them. I have written horoscopes that are usually talking about things different than the videos for each month. So you can see those at cozybysweetstarlight.com. There are also astrology and other blogs there at cozybysweetstarlight.com. You can go to anniehelpsyou.com to see my massive amount of astrology blogs to help you with transits that are occurring now, and other goodies on my site. You can sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com, which will get you a write-up about the general aspects with all of them listed so that you have them for your planning purposes, always a month early. So you can do that at anniehelpsyou.com. Plus you get my free 20-day coaching program called Shine when you sign up for my free email newsletter. So I also have astrology education. So all the things I just listed are all free, and I do those for you every month. But I also have some even more in-depth astrology education options at anniehelpsyou.com that you can check out. I would love for you to learn with me. Definitely check out my book, Radical Prayer, Transform Your Life and the World in 28 Days, an Amazon bestseller, and a wonderful companion for my fellow spiritual seekers. So you can see that on Amazon or at radicalprayerbook.com. And you can check out my husband's site for even more resources that he offers, which is iamhelios.com. So he's B.R. Newman at iamhelios.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.